So the live stream will be over at Twitch and it's going to be over at YouTube. So let me go ahead and get the link for the live stream once it comes online. If you ever need to go back to the session and take a look at the at something you might have missed or something you might have had a little bit of trouble understanding, you can always go back to the recording for the live stream and then take a look at the recording to see anything you might have missed. So let me go ahead and get that link. So the link will be over here. All right, let's go ahead and start class. All right, so what are we doing today? So we're doing the last class of digital forensics today, and this is Hacker Frogs After School Memory File Forensics Part 2. So this is the 8th workshop. It's hard to believe that we've already done almost 3 weeks of these workshops, but time sure does fly. Okay, so welcome to Hacker Frogs After School. This is the 8th and final class for digital forensics. In the last workshop, we learned about the following digital forensics concepts. We learned about memory forensics. Digital memory forensics is the examination of data in computer memory. It can give forensics investigators a view into processes running on the system. And we learned about the volatility memory forensic software. So volatility is a powerful free tool used for memory forensics written in Python, so Python programming language. There are two versions of volatility that are currently used, Volatility 2 and Volatility 3. So in today's workshop, we're going to be going back to the challenge that we were doing last time, and that's going to be device memory forensics with volatility. We're going to do Advent of Cyber 2022, so this is the Christmas event from TryHackMe, and we're going to be covering this exercise one more time. So this is the same exercise we were looking at last time, only we're going to be learning, we're going to be going off the beaten path a little bit, and we're going to be solving some more we're going to be answering some more questions. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's going to be tryhackme.com/our-room Advent of Cyber 4. So all you need to do is log into your TryHackMe account. And let's see. So your TryHackMe account over here. Log into the website and then go to the following link over here. Let me just make sure that this is the correct one. So this says Advent of Cyber 4, and we're looking at Advent of Cyber 4. Okay, great. So the link is in the chat. And so what you want to do after you've logged into TryHackMe is go over to the website, and then you want to go over to, I think it's task number 16 in this case. So after you come to the Advent of Cyber 2022 page, you scroll all the way down until you get to task number 16. And this is also day number 11 inside this room. So this is the same thing that we were taking a look at last time, but we're going to be answering some different questions this time. So click into task number 16. And we're going to start our machine. For some reason, the Start Machine button is grayed out. It shouldn't be grayed out on your side. Let us know what color the button is for task number 16 on your end. Okay, so let me, we need to log in. We're not logged in, okay. So I'm going to just log in now. So if you are not logged in, then you're not going to be able to access the attack box machine. Okay, so let me go back now that I'm logged in. And we're going to go over to, it looks like I haven't joined the room here. That's, I could have sworn I joined this room last time. Anyways, if you haven't joined the room yet, you can go ahead and click on the Join Room button. It's this green button over here. And then you can go over to task number 16. So if you have task number 1 open, you can close it by clicking on the header one more time. Then go down to task number 16 here and click on it. You should see that there's a green Start Machine button over here. So what I want you to do is I want you to start the machine by clicking on the green button. So go ahead and click on that. And you should see that the view inside of your browser is going to split into two. So there's going to be the TryHackMe page on the left-hand side, and there's going to be your attack box over here on the right-hand side. So if you manage to get the attack box loading up over here, please let everybody know in chat by typing in attack box loading smiley face. And as usual, if you're having some troubles, let us know what troubles you're having, and we'll try to help you out and get you unstuck. Okay, so said the attack box is already loaded. That's great. That's great. So you just need to chill out and wait for everybody else's box to load up. So one thing that you can do, if in case you think that one side of the window is a little bit too large, you can go to the middle of the screen here, and you can wait until the cursor turns into two arrows, and then click, and then you can drag the window around a little bit. Okay. All right, so this is going to take another, it says it's going to take another 90 seconds. That's that can seem like a really, really long time. Okay, let's take a look at the questions we're going to be answering today. So we've got a new little batch of questions we're going to be answering today, and you can access them from this link over here. And what you want to do is you want to scroll past the TryHackMe questions, and you want to go over to the extra workshop questions. So what we're going to do today is we're going to answer some extra questions about the memory, about the memory image file inside this room. So we were talking about the mysterygift.exe file last time, and we are talking about some, we were saying that it was malware. And we're going to be answering some more questions about what's going on in this computer through the memory image file. So let's go ahead and go back to TryHackMe. And it looks like it's pretty close to finished. Game Boy on YouTube says, hello Game Boy, nice to see you here. And we're just doing a little lesson on digital forensics. If you want to join in, then you can go over to this link, and you can access task number 16. You're gonna need to have a registered account over at TryHackMe to do so. Okay, so when the attack box has initialized, after it finishes loading, you're going to see this screen over here. So after that, you can clear the screen by typing in the word clear. So type in the word clear and hit enter, and that's going to get rid of the stuff that's already on the screen. And now you're in the file system. So if you type ls to see what's in this directory over here, you're going to see this volatility3 folder. So it's a directory. So most of the time when we're talking about stuff in the terminal, in the file system, we say folder or we say directory. They mean kind of the same thing. It's basically a place you can go to in the file system. And what you need to do now is you need to enter the volatility3 directory. So just do the cd command. CD stands for change directory, and then volatility3. So one thing that you can do when you're typing in the terminal is you can start typing in the name of a file name or a directory name, and then you can hit the tab key on your keyboard, which is on the left-hand side of your keyboard. It's below the escape key. And when you type the tab key after you start typing in some letters, it'll autocomplete the name of the file that you're trying to type, which is really handy. But anyways, give the command cd volatility3, and I'll just leave this in the chat so that you know which command to do. You'll move into the volatility directory, and when you type in pwd, which stands for present working directory or print working directory, you're going to see that we're in the volatility3 directory. So it's going to be home elf mcblue volatility3. So if you manage to move into this directory, please let us know by typing in I'm in Catface, or I'm in, what does the cat face look like? It looks like this. There you go. Ronan says hi. Hi to Ronan on Twitch. Hello, nice to see you here. We're just doing a little lesson on digital forensics and memory forensics. So if you want to join in, you can go ahead and go over here and then to this room, and then go over to task number 16. But I'm in Cool Cat. Yeah. That's great. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer some of these questions. Remember, if you do ls to take a look at, you can do ls to take a look at what's in the directory here. And we were dealing with this file right here. It's called workstation.vmem. And to run the volatility command, we have to do the following command over here. So the command is kind of long, but the great thing about the terminal is that you can do the up and down arrow keys to get the previous commands and just adjust the commands slightly each time. So we're going to do Python 3, and the reason we type in Python 3 is because the volatility program is a Python program. So Python 3 vol.py and then -f for the file we want to interact with. It's going to be workstation.vmem. And then we need to give some sort of module that we want to run. So this is a Windows image, Windows memory image. So we're going to type in Windows. We can just do windows.info, and we can get the information for this particular image file. Anyways, I'll just include the full command that we're doing right now in the chat. Ronan says the AI testing was interesting. I watched the recording on YouTube. Yeah. So to anybody who doesn't know, we did a test with AI to see if the AI could solve cybersecurity challenges, and we did that on what day is it today? We did that on Wednesday, and we did it after the Hacker Frogs After School session. So if you want to take a look at that, you can take a look at yourself at the YouTube channel. And it's the second hour of the stream. So anyways, so this takes a little bit of time, and basically all this is going to do is it's going to give you the version of Windows that the version of Windows that was running when we took this particular image memory image file. And we're going to see that so this is Windows 10. There's a bunch of other information as well. So it lets you know stuff like when this image was taken, and it'll also tell you what the root directory of the Windows directory is for this particular image. It tells you the version of Windows 10, and yeah, this is all important information when you do memory forensics or digital forensics in general. Matthew Welty on YouTube says, hello Matthew Welty, nice to see you here. And let's go ahead and take a look at the questions. So the questions we're answering today are over here. And the first question is going to be, what process created the mysterygift.exe file? So if you know the answer for this question, let us know in the chat. But otherwise, I'm going to explain how to get this information. Okay, so we're going to go back to TryAcme here, and we're just going to clear the screen because it's a bit cluttered. We're going to give the previous command, so press up and down on the arrow keys to bring up your command history. What you want to do is you want to delete the windows.info, so just delete the info part, and we're going to replace the info part with pstree. So pstree is going to give us the processes that were running on the system when we took the image file. So go ahead and give that command. I'm going to copy it so I can give it to all of you as well. Okay. Ronan says, oh, Matthew Welty says, happy to be back. Hey, nice to see you here, Matthew Welty. Ronan says, if you got the flag by scanning the image, maybe he got it wrong because the text was small. Because it could have been because the text was small, but yeah, I understand. And yeah, that was one of the problems with the AI. The AI wasn't able to read the text when we were doing our AI testing. But yeah, we might have to revisit that particular exercise later, probably next week. Okay, so what we're looking for in this output here is we're looking for the mystery gift.exe file. So we can see it's going to be over at the top over here. If you don't see it at the top, you can go ahead and scroll up a little bit in the output. And remember that when we're looking at this list over here, the first number you're going to see is the ID number. It is the ID number, or the PID, process ID. So for this file, it's 2040, and the next number is going to be the parent process ID number, or the PPID. So in this case, it's 5888. So 5888, if we look for 5888 in this column over here, in the first column of numbers, we see that this process over here, cmd.exe, has the process ID of 5888. So it is cmd.exe that created the mystery gift.exe process. And I guess if you wanted to take a look at the process ID, the parent process ID for this process, it's 4064. And 4064 is the process explorer.exe. So that means that it's basically one process creates another process, creates another process. And that's what's going on. On YouTube, Shino says, when I see someone live streaming a good hack, automatically sub. I say you're using Kali. I like Parrot myself, practicing for the CPTS now. Oh, CPTS. Yeah, that's a major certification from Hack the Box. Yeah, good luck studying for the CPTS. And yeah, I guess Kali Linux versus Parrot OS is kind of a personal preference. Anyways, so the answer for our question is going to be cmd.exe. So we find that out by looking at the mystery gift.exe, and then we look up the parent ID, which is 5888, and then that number is going to be associated with this one right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to the next question. Ronan in Twitch chat says, the help in vol shows all the options for Windows commands. I don't think it does. Let me check really quick. So let's see. We would do Python 3 vol.py -- help. Oh, it does. Okay, it tells you all the different modules you can do. So there's Windows modules, NetScan. There's going to be MemMap. There's a lot of different modules you can run. But yeah, let's go ahead and go over to the next question, and then we'll try to figure out how to answer the question. Okay. So the next question is going to be. Okay. So we answered this question already. So what process created the mystery gift.exe file? So we ran this command over here with the windows.ps tree, and we saw that the PPID, or the parent process, is 5888. When we look back over here, we see that the parent process is going to be the cmd.exe command. Okay, let's go ahead and answer the next question. So according to the memory dump command line history, what suspicious file is opened by notepad.exe? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to get the commands, all the commands that were run on the system when we're looking at the memory image file. So this is the command we have over here. So I'll just get the beginning of the command. I'll paste in the chat for everybody to use. So remember, when you're taking a look at these commands, the only thing that really changes is going to be the part after Windows dot. And in this case, it's going to be Windows dot CMD line. And let's go ahead and go over to TryAcme and try it out. So the command is here. So it's going to be Windows dot CMD line. So when we run that, it's going to take a little while to run that command, but afterwards, Game Boy says it's easy. Well, I mean, we're all learning here. Some parts are easy, some parts are not as easy, and so this part is looking at the commands. So these are all of the different commands that were run on inside of this computer. So there are a lot of different commands that were run over here. So we've got all of these different commands here, and they've got the actual file paths for the commands that were run over here. So in this case, we're looking for something special because the question is asking us, according to the memory dump command line history, what suspicious file is opened by notepad.exe? So it says include the full file path. If you know what the answer is, let us know by typing in the chat, and it'll prove that you're a cool person. But how exactly do we narrow in on notepad.exe? I'm going to teach you how now. So we're just going to go down here, and we're going to run the same command we did before, but this time we're going to use the grep command inside of Linux to pull out a certain piece of text. So we're going to pipe this command for volatility, and we're going to type in grep, and then we're going to check for notepad. So this is the full command over here. Let me just get it for you. Here you go. Game Boy says it's easy. Check the temp. Check the temp. Game Boy, have you worked with volatility before? It seems like you know the commands already. Let me. Oh, it looks like I've been logged out of my my chat app. I need to go ahead and do that again. Just a second. Okay, so we're just going to run this command here. And the great thing about using grep is that it's only going to pull out the lines of the output that have the word notepad in it. So after we run this, we're going to see that we just get one line. And this is the exact line with a notepad in it. So it says notepad.exe, and we see that this is the file that was being run with notepad.exe. It's users cmnatic desktop secret file.txt. So there was some sort of secret file file that was being opened with Notepad, and that was recorded inside of the history here. So that's really fun for doing forensic stuff. And this is the answer. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. So the next question is going to be, so according to the memory dump file's networking information, what program is associated with the local and foreign port 80? So we're talking about computer networking now, and there can be all sorts of programs that are running on particular networking ports, and we can get that by using the netscan module. Game Boy, you're correct. Yeah, we're going to be using netscan. So it's basically the same command that we were doing before, but after the Windows dot, we're going to put in netscan, and that's going to get all of the networking information. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's the same command as before, but we're just going to delete everything up until the Windows dot, and we're going to put in netscan there. So let me just copy this for everybody to reference. Here you go. So when we run the command by itself, Game Boy says this challenge is really amazing for study. Yeah, that's why I'm teaching volatility through this challenge. I really like the Christmas events that they run over at TryHackMe, because they cover all sorts of fun little exercises like this. So when we run Windows.NET scan, I guess it's taking a while to come out. Okay, here we go. So the thing is that there's a lot of networking information here. And what we want to do is we want to only get what's on port number 80. Actually, you know what? we can see exactly what's on port number 80 over here. And can anybody identify which process is running on port 80 here? Well, by process, it's going to be something.exe. So if you know, let us know in the chat. And Ronan says, and for free. Yeah, so I like to teach through free resources because I know that students don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. So I like to make sure that everybody can access this stuff. Okay, Game Boy says grep 80. Yeah, we can definitely grep 80, and then we can get what's going on port number 80. So to make it very, very obvious, we're going to run the same command again, and then we're going to do the pipe. And if you can't find the pipe on your keyboard, it's going to be the shifted version of the backslash button. So locate the backslash button on the keyboard, press shift and then backslash, and that's going to give you the pipe character. After you give the pipe character, type in grep 80, and it's going to only pull out the output that has the number 80 on it. So it's going to take a little bit of time to run. But then after it's finished, you'll get only the lines that have the number 80. And we're looking for the port number 80, which is going to be, which number is it going to be? Okay, so the number 80 actually appears in a few different places, but this is certainly a lot less than the full output. And we're looking for the all interfaces port 80 over here, and the process name is python.exe. So python.exe is well, it's the programming language, and the programming language was it was listening on port 80 for some reason on this computer. Who knows why? But well, I don't know why, but I do not know why is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's go ahead and go to the next question. So the next question is going to be, okay, we've already answered this question, so we're just going to skip this one. Okay, so this is the last question. This is the last normal question we're going to be answering today. After we finish this question, we're actually going to be taking a look at the malware, and we're going to be investigating what's going on with the malware. So according to the Windows registry files, what is the name of the local host? So in this case, we're looking for the name of the computer that we took this image from. And in this case, we actually have to use kind of a complicated command to do that. So I wish there was an easier way to do it, but this is what we need to do. We need to do all this big command right here. And I'll paste this into the chat so that you can take a look at it. So it's going to look like this. Game Boy says, dump the registry. Is it that easy to just dump the registry? Is my question. Anyways, let's go ahead and try to, well, let me try to give this command over here. The problem is that the way it was formatted, it left a bunch of line breaks, and that's not what we want. So let me copy the command, and then we'll run this command on the TryHackMe computer over here. Okay, so we're just going to clear the screen, and oh, I don't think I can paste this in, unfortunately. But we're just going to start typing this in. It's going to be a bit of a pain. Okay, so it's going to be Windows dot registry dot print key dash key control set 001 /control /computer name /computer name. That's a bit long. But anyways, let's go ahead and give this command. Hopefully I didn't spell anything incorrectly. Remember, everybody, if you can't spell, you can't hack. So you got to make sure that your spelling is correct. It looks like it's going. Okay, we got a bunch of computer name over here, but this is actually what we're looking for here. So what we're looking for is the name of the computer, and it's called desktop 3SD2BNH. So this is what we're looking for. If we were to just dump out the Windows registry, then we would have a very bad time because there's going to be a lot of stuff in there. So the important thing that we the important thing about using computer commands is knowing how to get exactly what you want. And sometimes the output is going to be so big that it's going to be very, very difficult to look through unless, well, I mean, it's not that bad, but it's still a bit of a mess. And if you were to look through this without filtering for stuff, it would be it would not be a very good time. But anyways, let's go ahead and do the last part of today's questions. So in the last part, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some investigation on VirusTotal. So VirusTotal is a website where we can take a look at viruses, at malware, and we can learn a bunch of information about it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to obtain the file hash for the mysterygift.exe file, and we're going to search for it on VirusTotal to answer the following questions. So we're going to ask about how many security vendors think this file is a malicious file, basically a virus, and a bunch of other questions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go over to TryHackMe here, and we're going to create a little directory where we're going to dump out the files. We did this last time. So mkdir dump, and I'll just type in the chat in case you need the command. And then afterwards, we're going to dump out the file for the malware. And the malware was, it had a PID of 2040, I think. So this is the command. So I think it was windows.dump files and PID 2040. And we needed to specify a place to dump out the files. So -o dump. Let me copy this command so I can provide it to chat. And here you go. So when this is done, all of the files associated with the mystery gift malware, it's going to be put into the dump directory. So we just need to enter that directory, cd dump, And then remember, we we counted the number of files in here. There were 16 files. And this time what we need to do is we need to get the file hash for this particular mysterygift.exe file. So in computing, a file hash is basically a fingerprint for for a file. And every file is going to have a different fingerprint or a different file hash. And the way we get the file hash is we run the MD5 sum command on the particular file. So it's file.ox something something ox00912elf. Okay, I think I misspelled that. 00912. Oh, I need to put a no. It's not helping me out here. Okay, hold on. Let me spell this out. File.0xc00912e. Oh, it's E1F. No wonder it didn't work. Anyways, this is the command here. So you don't necessarily need to run this command. I will give you the file hash after I run this. So this is the file hash right here. So after we run the command, this is going to be the file hash. And I'll just provide the file hash to everybody here. So what we can do is we can go over to the VirusTotal website, and we can actually get information about this virus file by putting in the file hash. So we're just going to go over to another website. It's called virustotal.com. And this is basically a website where we can look up different viruses, and it'll tell us about some information about those viruses. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break because there's an ad running on Twitch right now, and we don't work through the ads. So we're just going to play a little ad on YouTube, and then we're going to put on a little bird video because well, we need to occupy our time somehow while we're watching the ads. How about not a bird video, but a squirrel video? So this is my backyard over here, and there's a happy little squirrel. We're just gonna watch the happy little squirrel for the next minute or so. If you need to take a water break, if you need to get up and have a stretch, you can do it during the break, and we're just gonna take a minute to have a little break. GroutXT, hey, haven't seen you in a while. GroutXT is on Twitch, and they're back from vacation. Nice to see you here, GroutXT, back from vacation. Welcome, welcome. And let's see. Game Boy says that they've removed their ad block. Nice to see. Nice to see. MSL Gamdi has subscribed on YouTube. Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and put the squirrels away, and we will get back to taking a look at this virus over at VirusTotal. So after you get to the VirusTotal website, and I guess I'll leave the VirusTotal link in the chat. You want to go ahead and click on search. So click on the search button, and you can paste in the file hash over here. So the file hash is the one that I supplied to everybody in chat. I guess I'll leave it in chat one more time. Hold on. Let me get the file hash. Where is it? Here? Yeah. So there's the file hash, and we're just going to click into VirusTotal, and in the search bar, we're just going to punch in the file hash. We're going to search, and you know what? I think it might be easier for everybody to take a look from the link over here. So this is the link for VirusTotal, looking at that particular piece of malware. And we can get a bunch of information from this page. So this page tells you all sorts of information about 41. The Game Boy has the answer for the next question. Yeah. So we're trying to figure out a bunch of different questions about this malware, and the first question is, how many security vendors flagged the file as malicious? So malicious means basically it identified it as a virus, and according to, well, when I took it, it was 38 out of 72, but now it's 41 out of 72. Or is it 72 or is it something else? It's 71. Interesting. So there's been some changes. Okay, so the next question is, according to the file's history, when was the file's creation time? So when was this virus created? And we're going to figure it out over at VirusTotal, and we can take a look at the details button over here. So on VirusTotal, we can click on details, and we can get all the properties of the file over here. So there's a creation time. So how old is this malware? When was it detected as a virus? So in this case, it's going to be 2022 11. I guess that's November 4th. That's correct. Game Boy, that's correct. GredXT says, "See, you have a new overlay." Well, new for me, anything. I think you've had it for 2 weeks. Yeah, I change my overlay every month or so, and this is the May overlay for the stream. Okay, let's. So this is the answer. It's going to be this one right here, and we find it by taking a look at the details tab. Okay, so that was the answer here. So creation time. This is what we need to pay attention to. The next question is, what domain name is associated with this file? So the virus can be associated with some websites, and we can go ahead and go over to VirusTotal, and I think we're going to go over to relations to find this answer. So we got some domains that are associated with the website here. I don't think Microsoft.com is going to be the I think it makes contact with Microsoft.com, but I don't think Microsoft.com is the author of this virus. But where else can we take a look at? So maybe we can take a look at details. So we'll go over to details, and I think it was in here. Maybe not. Let's take a look at maybe it's in behavior. IP traffic. Okay, so we've got a bunch of different domains that are associated with the with this particular virus, and files dropped, registry, processes. I used to wait. Okay, let me cheat a little bit, and let me get the answer for the question. Okay, so what domain name is associated with this file? If we go over to the behavior tab and we take a look at the DNS resolutions, we can tell that it's associated with this domain over here from TryHackMe. It's called bestfestivalcompany.thm. So let's go ahead and go over to VirusTotal, and we go over to behaviors. So it's going to be behavior, and let's search for DNS. Okay. So under network communication, we're going to see this this right over here, bestfestivalthm.com. And this is what we're looking for. Okay, so what IP addresses are contacted by the file? We might skip a few of these because we're kind of running out of time. And okay, how about this question here? So aside from mysterygift.exe, what are the other two names for this file? So along with mysterygift.exe, this file can take on different names. And let's go ahead and see if we can figure that out over at VirusTotal. So I think this should be under... Well, let's look for name. Name, okay, it's not going to be here. Let's take a look at details. It's probably in details. Names, right. So we've got some different names here. So along with mysterygift.exe, it's also called something something sample over here. And it's also called file something something mysterygift.exe.img. So this is the one that we got from dumping the file. Okay, so we'll answer a couple more questions and then we'll finish out the lesson. Okay, so this is another funny one over here. So what GitHub repository URL is associated with this file? So we know we're looking for something that's associated with GitHub. And if you go over to VirusTotal, you scroll up to the top and then you go over to Community. There's actually, so the community members on VirusTotal have been doing a little bit of digging on this particular virus. And not Microsoft, says Game Boy. Yeah, not Microsoft for sure. But what we can do is we can actually look for the GitHub link that they're talking about. So a bunch of people were talking about this file. And what we're going to do is we're just going to search this page for GitHub. And over here, it says description detects NIMC2 implants. So NIMC2 implants, this is a type of virus that's called a command and control. It basically lets people run commands on other computers through a manager service. So if we take a look and copy this link, this is just a little GitHub project. Whoops, I didn't copy it. Hold on. Copy. It doesn't want to let me paste this in. Can I paste it into here? We can paste it into here. But for some reason it won't paste into the Zoom call. That's weird. Okay, let me see if I can manually type it in. Okay, try that link. So let me try this link as well. Control C, Control V. If sometimes it doesn't seem to work. Okay, so what is going on this GitHub page? So this is a GitHub page that is talking about a C2 software. So C2 is well, it can be categorized as malware. It basically lets people do remote control of computers, and it's written in this NIM language. I've never heard of this language before. If you've heard of the NIM language, let us know in the chat. But basically, the malware that is running on that we found uses this website's code. So that's really interesting because, well, some people. Okay. So just because you write something that that can be considered malware doesn't mean that you're a bad person, because these kind of tools are used for legitimate security testing as well. And I just want everybody to know that sometimes the line between good guys and bad guys can be very, very difficult to tell. But anyways, so we're gonna finish out the lesson now. But before we do that, let's do a little summary of what we learned today. And if you have any questions about any of the stuff that we talked about, please let us know in the chat, and we'll try to answer your questions as best we can. Okay, so what did we do today? We took a further look over at memory forensics today. And digital memory forensics is the examination of data in computer memory. It can give us forensics investigators a view into processes running on the system. Looks like we've got some spammers on the Twitch chat. Let me just get rid of them. Okay, it can give forensics investigators a view into processes running on the system. And we took a look at the volatility tool. So volatility is a powerful free tool used for memory forensics written in Python. There's two versions currently used, Volatility 2 and Volatility 3. So what's next? So the digital forensics lessons are done. So we've done 8 sessions and we talked about all sorts of digital forensics. We talked about network PCAP ones. We took a look at files using Wireshark. We took a look at picture file forensics and the strings command and the exif tool command, all sorts of other fun stuff like that. And yeah, we're finished with digital forensics. If you feel like you need to do more studying, you can always go back to the previous sessions and take a look at them again, and maybe try them out until the stuff that we're doing inside those sessions makes sense. But yeah, in the next Hacker Frogs After School workshop, we're going to be starting a new course, and the course is going to be cryptography. So when we talk about cryptography, we basically mean hiding information and then letting the right people see what the actual information is. So we're going to be doing that starting next week on Monday, so please look forward to that. It's going to be at the same time as that we do the streams today, but it's it's going to be on Monday. But for everybody who's watching on YouTube and Twitch, we're going to take a short break while we finish the class on Zoom, and after we finish there, we're going to be doing some Python coding. So Python coding for solving CTF exercises. Please look forward to that, but we're just going to take a couple of minutes of break while we finish the class on Zoom. So please enjoy the Be Right Back screen and the music.